I made this the other night. It was a block already had with mahogany and oak in it, so what I did is I cut it into sections and then glued it back together. I made a bit of a mistake. I cut it on the table saw, which I had to cut it in 2 passes, and it's not quite perfect. We've got some little gaps here and there. I should have really cut on the bandsaw and done it that way, but we're going to turn it and see what happens. These may disappear further they go in, but if not, then what we'll do is I'll run some glue in there and go from there. So anyway, the idea is a vase or a vase, whatever you want to call it. So let's get it roughed out. Let's get it roughed out and see how it comes out. Like I said at the start, we've got a few gaps. I think I'm going to have to fill them with some super glue before I get too excited, because I don't want them flying apart on me. It's a shame really. If I'd have just spent a little bit more time messing around with a blank. So there's a motto to this. Spend a little bit more time thinking about how you're going to make your blank, rather than just chop it up on the chop saw. No, comp it on the table saw and then hoping that it's going to be good. If I'd have spent a little bit more time just making sure everything was perfect, this wouldn't have happened. It would all been a nice tight joint like this, look. So you learn. I suppose I could really just throw it away and make another one, but I'm going to see if I can salvage it. It's a shame really, because like I say, other than that, it looked really nice. But, so we'll leave that for a little bit to dry, and then we'll shape it down a little bit. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this as my foot, because that's a narrower part now, and I'm going to scallop it and then shape it out for my the shape of the vase I want. So we leave that to dry for a few minutes. So I think we've got a shape that we want. I'm just going to give it a bit of a sand over. Well, actually I'm going to spend a bit of time sanding it over and finishing it off, and then we'll get it sanded and sealed. Just a shame about these gaps really. Bit of a bummer. I'm just going to run a little bit more super glue in there. The reason being is where that's now started to... Actually I'm going to sand and seal it first. I'm going to sand and seal it, and then I'll run some super glue in there. And then hopefully we can get the gaps filled, ready to hollow it out. I don't know whether I'm going to hollow form it, so that's the shape of the thing. I might just bore it out. I don't know, I'll see how it goes. I don't want to hollow form it and get it too thin and then we end up falling apart because of this here. So I don't know, we'll see. Well, I'll get it sanded and we'll see what happens. So I've sanded the shape, I've got the shape I wanted, sanded it to 400 grit, I've sand and sealed it. Just need to go over it with Yorkshire grit to give it its final sand. It's nice and smooth as it is, but we'll just put a bit of Yorkshire grit over it just to finish it off. And then I decide what finish I put on it, whether I put just a wax on it, or whether I put friction polish on it to high sheen it. I'm not sure yet what I want to do on it. I'm not 100% sure whether I want it. I quite like it as it is, so I may go just for a wax finish, but I don't know if I want a real high gloss on it. I'm not sure, we'll see. I think that is shiny enough. I don't want it too shiny because I don't think that'll look right too shiny, but I think that's shiny enough. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to bore out the end of this. I don't know whether I'm going to hollow it out like I said before. Depends on I don't know. We're going to bore it out and see how we go from there, and we'll see if I'm going to hollow it out. I don't want to hollow it out and then end up flying apart, because obviously we've got these bits here that weren't quite glued properly. So we'll see. Let's get it hollowed out anyway. So I've gone down as deep as I can get with the auger bit, and I've gone down nearly 100 mil, so we're about there somewhere, just past that there, which is deep enough. I'm not gonna, I could hollow it out I suppose, but I don't know, it's quite narrow and I can't get a tool rest in there. I don't want it to get to blow apart, so I think I'm going to leave it as it is, to be perfectly honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish this edge. I'm just going to round that off a little bit, and I think we'll call it that. Just rounded that off a little bit. So just saying, one thing I have noticed with this is, because the darker wood is softer than the oak, when you sand it, the darker wood seems to sand quicker than the oak does. So you get like you don't get a perfect round, you get like an indent in it, but you can't really see it, but you can feel it. It feels quite strange. So I'll just get a sanding block and sand that out in there, and then we'll get some sand and sealer in there just to seal it up, and then we'll give it another polish up, because with the heat we generated through boring it out, I think my Fostner bit needs replacing or sharpening, one of the two. It's not the sharpest at the moment. It's sort of generated a little bit of heat, and the wax has sort of soaked into the wood and disappeared, but we'll get it retreated. But no, I like it. I like the style of it, I like the colour of it. I will be doing another one, but making sure it's better this time. but no, I like it. It's got a cool finish. So let's get sanded inside there. So let's bring the shine on. Well, there it is. I don't want too much of a shine on. I think that's more a subtle look if it's like that rather than a massive shine on it. Yeah, right, we'll get it parted off and get the bottom sanded, and then we can yeah, we'll get it parted off, get it sanded, and then we'll get the bottom treated. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for making it to the end. There may be a couple of videos down below that you might be interested in. If you do, pop over and check them out. Also, if you're a subscriber to the channel, then thank you very much for your continuous support. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, then pop over and click this link here to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to be notified for all my latest uploads. So anyway guys, take care, speak to you soon.